Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Noxite and this is The Long Dark. Before we start chirping and chapping though, and get the developers shaking their heads at this video, I gotta make a disclaimer of my own. This is a review of a game that is currently in early access, meaning that a lot of the things I'm going to be commenting on could potentially change at any given moment of any given time. Like magic! No really, there's like developer wizards that are working their magic on this game as we speak. The Long Dark is a survival game at essence, a survival game set in the northern wilderness in the aftermath of a global disaster. No, there are no zombies. There's just you, the freezing cold, hunger, thirst, your physical health, and some darn lethal wolves that will honestly crap you up when you come in contact with them. When I first opened this game up, I really wasn't expecting much, but after sinking a good few hours into it, it really hit me by surprise. As if some huge ass snowstorm just whooshed into your face or something! So what's the point in this game? Well, as this game is in early access, there is currently only a sandbox mode, which throws you into the unknown and tells you to survive for as long as you can. However, the main menu suggests that there's going to be a story mode when the final game ships, and I cannot bloody wait. Alright, chill out. I'll explain why in a bit. First, let's dive into exactly what you'd be doing if today was the day you'd pick the game up. Put it this way. You'll be thrown into a random location in some frozen wastelands, and you'll be given absolutely no guidance on how to survive. So you'll begin exploring, you'll come across many abandoned buildings and frozen corpses. Yes, frozen corpses. And you'll begin scrounging up and quite literally just stealing a ton of supplies and items in hope that it'll help you survive. You'll slowly start to learn how each of these supplies will help you, and you'll slowly start to understand your capabilities as a virtual human, and what exactly is going to kill you. Which is most things, by the way. Now this is where your adventure begins. There are so many subtle and unexplained aspects to this game that you're going to have a bomb of a time finding them all. Let's start by saying The Long Dark has to be one of the most immersive games that I've played to date. I'm not even joking. You will quite literally feel cold. The atmosphere is executed so well that your mind just soaks it all up completely. I was sitting there in my computer chair, walking through the virtual snow, staring at my virtual frosty breath on screen, listening to the virtual dry wind brushing across the ground, and I actually shuddered. Only to then look out of my window and remind myself that today is a sunny and warm day. Despite not being a typical horror survival game, this game definitely has its moments of atmosphere that can feel like one and honestly set your heart pounding. But one of the reasons behind this immersion is the perfectly crafted and subtle sound design. It's all so real. If you've ever been in a cabin during a strong wind, then this will feel instantly nostalgic to you. And just listen to all these cool things! Now, you might be one of those gamers that simply doesn't notice these kind of things, and that's fine. You don't have to notice them to enjoy the game, but your subconscious will notice it all, and that's what'll be fueling your conscious in actually liking the game. But okay, let's not get all artsy-fartsy now just because Noxite graduated from a degree in film sound design. Let's get to the real stuff. You know, maybe one for those guys who spent thousands of quids on their graphic cards, eh? OMFG, the graphics. Okay, fine. The graphics aren't all that so totally next gen, but they do take on a very pleasing art style that creates so many beautiful and cinematic moments as you ponder through these frozen wastelands. The weather, the particles, the colors, and the view distance all meld so effortlessly to create a very memorable experience. Up close, a lot of the textures look really flat, but with the warm colors, the filmy grain, and the cool cel shading, it's actually pretty effective. This game does so many things so incredibly well. The UI is very minimal, simplistic, and an overall pleasure to use. I encountered absolutely no bugs, which is pretty surprising for an early access game. There is also voice acting. It's very subtle, but very well acted and convincing, which excites me even more for this story mode.
The sun is setting. It's gonna get a lot colder soon.
The music, as little as there is, reminds me of the Fargo film and TV show, which coincidentally is shot in Canada, which coincidentally is where the game looks like it's based, which coincidentally is where the development team is from. Point being, the music is nice. So, what's the say, Jose? Well, after about 6 hours of playtime, you'll have explored all this game has to offer in its current state. Especially because so many things are unavailable in the alpha, including many things that you'll find among your travels in sandbox mode. But you definitely won't have experienced all of the random moments that this game can throw at you, so it's even replayable after that amount of playtime. If you're looking for a very pleasantly immersive experience, this one is going to send you to a very cold place. Development is looking very active and it really sounds like they're listening to the community. I'm incredibly excited to see where this game goes, as I'm in love with it already. Sorry if you were looking for any bad points, but I guess I don't have any obvious ones right now. Oh, were you expecting like a score or something? No, I'm not going to give you one because it's alpha, duh face. I'll give it a proper score when it's released. Ciao! So as I trod through the dark, the fuel ticking in my lantern, lighting up barely inches in front of me, my stomach growling for hunger, my thirst unquenched, and my eyes about to drop off at any moment, I thought this was the end. My journey has led me this far, and it was all over. The cold was about to swallow my body and harden my veins forever. Suddenly, as I mounted a nearby hill, a human light shone in the distance. God had granted me a miracle. Only little did I know, as I approached the warmth, that this is the place they call the Trapper's Homestead. Let's just hope he's friendlier than he sounds.